very lucky here in the PacWest that many of our conference basketball games have been televised over the years. BYU TV goes worldwide, featuring PacWest teams that show off their best stuff in Laie. Dixie State has many of its home games broadcast on Dixie TV in Utah. Grand Canyon has had a few of its games showcased on local Arizona television. In the islands, PacWest Magazine is proudly shown on OC16, where a number of PacWest contests have been on the airwaves over the years. And earlier this season, PacWest basketball made its live debut on KFVE. The HPU Sea Warriors and the University of Hawai'i-Hilo Vulcans were the focus of the cameras in a game that meant a lot to both programs.
Well, television in and of itself is a very, very conducive medium for being, telling your story. And I think that's what we've got to do as the PacWest, is tell our story. So television is a really great way to do that. We haven't had the opportunity, I don't think, in a lot of venues to be able to do that, and be able to have that exposure. It's almost invaluable to us. And so the deal that you were able, the conference is able to put together, something's very, very significant and probably historical, because I think it's a great start for us. It's a great way to get the word out about what we are and who we are, and tell that story that's got to be told.
We can make copies of this and send it to parents and family, and they can, we can send them copies of just the silent edition, but when they get this and they can watch it and hear names called and see graphics, it's great. I think it's great for both our schools and just the publicity throughout the islands, and from a non-athletic standpoint, just, Hawai'i Pacific University is a great school, and people need to know about it. And they get, sometimes just flicking through the channels, and you see that, and it's good recognition.
There's no doubt that being on state, a channel that everybody gets, on every island, it was huge for us. You can't, you really can't buy that kind of publicity. I think hopefully it's just the tip of the iceberg in the beginning of it.
As for the game itself, it was a close one throughout, with both teams battling hard to gain supremacy. Hilo was led by Zach Wild, who topped the Vulcans in both scoring and rebounding on the night. Zach had 14 points and 8 boards. Also playing a key role for Hilo was guard Terrell Mack, who also got into double digits in the scoring column with 12 points. HPU, meanwhile, had a trio of scorers who would lead the way, with LeBrent Chappelle topping them all with 16 points. Tops among all scorers on the night. Chappelle was helped out significantly by Glenn Miller and Kyle Allen, among other key teammates, in a game that would stay close until the final minutes. HPU finally put together a good stretch late in the second half to widen their lead, and eventually moved out in front by double digits. And then they held on to win by a final score of 64-56. A good win by the Sea Warriors over their rivals from the Big Island.
Well, I think it was a typical conference kind of game. There wasn't a lot of flow to it. Both teams had to really grind and work and grind and grind, and we just kind of ran out of grinders. We turned the ball over and we didn't shoot the ball well. That's kind of been our bugaboo. When we don't play well, it's because we don't shoot well and because we turn the ball over. And the 12 turnovers in the second half and the bad shooting was something that, you know, that bothered us, and then HPU just kind of stepped it up a little bit and taken it to the hole, and then they were able to get to the free throw line. And to me, without watching the tape back again, those were the big things in the difference in the game for us.
I thought, you know, it looked like the first conference game after Christmas. I thought early, both teams kind of grinding a little and not real fluid. We've, you know, been practicing a lot, and you don't get the same feel in games as you do in practice as you do in games. And I was just real proud of our kids. I thought down the stretch we had some guys make some plays, not spectacular plays, but just free throws or a rebound here or a steal there. Just, you know, we have a saying, players make plays, and I thought guys did that down the stretch for us that gave us an advantage.
The final score once again tonight, 64-56. HPU holding the home court over UH-Hilo.
So a big night for the PacWest turned into a big night for HPU as the Sea Warriors picked up an impressive victory at home on local TV.